On a quiet day in 1979, the Miwa family was living their ordinary life inside their modest home in Kyoto. The father worked as an engineer, while the mother stayed at home, caring for their 4 children. They were all looking forward to spending the upcoming weekend together. The children played in the garden as laughter filled the air, while the parents spoke softly about the future. Life appeared perfect, peaceful, and complete, and aware that these moments would be the last they would ever share. That day marked the beginning of a new chapter, but its ending would become an unimaginable tragedy. An entire day passed without anyone noticing that something was wrong. But soon, concern began to grow among the neighbors as the family failed to appear. Phone calls went unanswered. By the following day, the police were alerted and decided to check the house. When officers entered, they were met with a horrifying sight. Every member of the family had been brutally murdered. The parents and their 4 children lay scattered throughout the house, blood staining the floors and walls. The scene was devastating, clear evidence of a crime beyond comprehension. The house was immediately sealed off as a crime scene, and investigators began their work. One detail stood out immediately. There were no signs of forced entry, no broken doors or windows. Even more disturbing, there were no signs of struggle. This raised chilling questions. Did the killer know the family? Or was there a hidden motive lurking beneath the surface? Questions multiplied, yet no solid evidence pointed to a suspect. Police delved deep into the family's background, searching for any personal motive that could explain the massacre. The Miwa family was known for their quiet, humble nature. They had no visible conflicts, no known enemies, and lived a simple, ordinary life. This only deepened the mystery. Was the killer a stranger, or was the crime orchestrated from within the family's circle? Weeks passed without meaningful progress. Investigators chased every possible lead, but evidence was painfully scarce. No fingerprints, no eyewitnesses, no clues pointing to the murderer. Frustration mounted as the case grew colder by the day. It became increasingly clear that this crime was far more complex than anyone had anticipated. As police continued examining the family's life, they confirmed what neighbors had long said. The Miwas were well liked and respected. They were active members of their local community, with no history of conflict or strange behavior. There were no signs of domestic trouble or secret dealings. This only made the brutality of the crime more disturbing. How could such horror befall a family that seemed so ideal? Investigators began interviewing neighbors and potential local suspects. The testimonies were inconsistent. Some neighbors claimed they heard strange noises late at night, while others insisted they noticed nothing unusual. These contradictions raised suspicion. Was someone deliberately misleading the police? Or was the crime executed so quietly and efficiently that it went unnoticed? As the investigation continued, the conflicting witness accounts only deepened the confusion. Some residents recalled unsettling sounds but couldn't identify their source. Others denied hearing anything at all. Police were forced to re-examine all available evidence, yet once again, nothing conclusive emerged. With time, the investigation reached a standstill. Leads ran dry, suspects multiplied, and answers remained elusive. Gradually, the case faded from public attention. Along with it faded the hopes of both the authorities and the grieving relatives for justice. It seemed the crime would remain an unsolved mystery forever. More than 30 years later, the case was reopened following a revolutionary advancement in forensic science. DNA analysis. Investigators re-examined the preserved evidence using modern techniques. For the first time in decades, the case took a new direction. DNA held the power to reveal truths that had once been impossible to uncover. This was their final hope. The DNA analysis revealed something unexpected: a match to an individual who had previously been questioned in the case. This same man had later committed another murder in the same region. Investigators now believed they were finally closing in on the truth. Further testing confirmed the shocking discovery. A complete DNA match connected the suspect to the Miwa family murders. His criminal history and proximity to the area strengthened the case against him. Police began building an airtight case, and justice seemed closer than ever before. At last, the suspect was arrested. The man who had vanished for years now stood before the law, confronted by undeniable evidence. Upon arrest, he confessed without hesitation. A crime buried since 1979 had been brought back to life through modern technology. For the investigators, justice was finally within reach. During the trial, the killer revealed his motive: a deep, irrational hatred toward the family, rooted in unresolved psychological issues. He admitted to watching them for an extended period before carrying out the massacre. His reasons were disturbing and vague, but his confession finally provided clarity and closure. The killer was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment. The verdict marked the tragic conclusion of a case that had haunted Kyoto for decades. 32 years after the murders, justice was finally served. Though time had passed, the memory of the Miwa family remains etched in the city's history, a somber reminder that even the darkest mysteries can one day be brought to light. Source: this case was officially documented in the Kyoto Prefectural Police Archives in Japan and was closed in 2011 after being solved through DNA evidence, 32 years after the crime.